Part 1 is divided into 3 sections, and the first section is basically introductions. The examiner introduces themselves and checks your identification. In section 1, it's always the same 3 personal information questions. The rationale for this is to put students at ease and give them some familiar topics. In this section, you're not expected to expand your answers giving examples. In fact, if you do so, the examiner will most likely stop you and move on to the next question. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Peter Wright. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Evangeline Fisselbon.
Thank you. And what shall I call you?
Just call me Eve.
And can you tell me where you're from?
I'm from Laguna, Philippines.
In section 2, it's always the same 2 topics. That's where you live or what you do. In this section, you are expected to expand your answers, give your experiences, and give examples. You will be asked one of the topics and not both. Because there's only 2 topics, it's often tempting for students to memorize answers for this section. That's never a good strategy. Trying to memorize answers will actually stress you because you're trying to remember and deliver what you memorized. And also, the examiner can spot straight away any memorized answers, and they might stop you and move on to the next question. Now let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
Well, currently I'm an English teacher at 2G Education in Pink City, and my responsibility is to teach children aged around 6 to 14, and I have been in this position for around 4 or 5 months.
And what's your favorite part of your job?
The thing that I like most about my job, well, is that I am able to work with a lot of children, not 1 or 2, but like 100 of them, you can imagine. Each of them have different personalities, have different preferences and problems, of course. So every day there's new thing for me.
Is there anything about your job you don't like?
I like most parts of my job, honestly, but there's still something that bothers me. That's because I work most of the time in the evening, so I don't really have time for my family. Let's say, for example, we have a family dinner. I cannot join them actually because I work like 6 days a week.
And will you stay in this job in the future?
I'm currently thinking about it. Maybe yes, maybe no, but I'm still thinking of doing something related to technology because it's my strength. You know, I am very good with numbers and with logic.
Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about where you live. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in a house. I actually live with my brother's family. My brother is a seaman, so I live with his family in the province with a mom and 2 nieces.
Can you describe your house?
It's a 2-story house that has 2 bedrooms. One's the master bedroom and the other where I stay at is a smaller one but quite comfortable for me, and I get a privacy also. It has a huge living room and quite nice kitchen where it can actually 2 people can actually cook there at the same time, so it's that big.
And what's your favorite room?
Definitely my room, just because of the privacy. I can do anything I want, knowing that I'm well respected in the house. If they need anything inside the room, they can just knock on the door before they can enter. So I appreciate that.
And do you think you will live in this place in the future?
No, definitely not. I stayed there for a short season when I was just wanting to do some home-based work. I requested my boss if I could do a home-based job for maybe 6 months, and then after that, I started planning on transferring to other places for job also.
And so section 3. Section 3 are topics. These are everyday topics. Nothing controversial. No politics, no religion, and no rocket science. You will be asked questions on 2 topics maximum, and you should expand your answers here. Again, give examples, talk about your experience, and expand and deliver more than just 1 or 2 sentences. Thank you. Let's move on and talk about eating in restaurants. So, how often do you eat in a restaurant?
Once in the blue moon, I would say, because I live with my parents, so we usually have dinner and lunch, every meals at home together, and maybe on special occasions like someone's birthday, we would go out to eat in a restaurant. So I would say once a month.
And what's your favorite type of restaurant?
My favorite type of restaurant, because I'm the one who prefer to eat a healthy and balanced diet, so I would go for a restaurant that serve fresh food. For example, seafood restaurant, because we live near the sea, so we have fresh seafood. Or sometimes I may have cheat day for BBQ restaurant, for example.
What types of restaurants are popular in your country?
Here in Vietnam, we are famous for our food, for our cuisine. So we have a variety of food like seafood, like meat, and they are cooked in very diverse ways.
And what do you think of fast food restaurants?
I don't have a very good opinion of fast food restaurant because, like I said, I'm a very healthy person, and I think that I heard that McDonald's was a flop in Vietnam because here even street food are very cheap and of very good quality. So people would not go for expensive and very unhealthy food in fast food restaurants.
So in section 1, remember short, direct answers. Section 2, don't memorize any speeches. Study vocabulary and phrases to describe where you live and your work or studies. And section 3, everyday topics. Expand your answers, be willing to speak at length, and give examples and talk about your experiences. Thanks for watching. See you later.